Dopamine is not about pleasure, it's about the anticipation of pleasure. It's about the pursuit of happiness rather than happiness itself. And what's most remarkable is experimentally, if you block that rise of dopamine from occurring, you don't get the work, you don't get the behavior. This is not only the anticipation, but this is what is capable of eliciting goal-directed behavior. This study, elaboration, rather than this design, you press the lever the right number of times, you get reward. Do the work, you get a reward 100% of the time. That's how it works. Now instead shift to where you get the reward only 50% of the time. You do the work and only about half the time you get the reward. Really sad. So what happens to dopamine levels there? This is what they do. They go through the roof. Because what have you just done? You've introduced the word maybe.
Dopamine is motivation. When dopamine is released, you feel motivated to keep on doing whatever it is you're doing. Dopamine is what makes things seem important and meaningful.
What we see here is dopamine comes pouring out like mad. It's the uncertainty of the reward. And what we see is this astonishing ability of humans to keep those dopamine levels up for decades and decades waiting for the reward. And in the most bizarre, unique realm of this in humans, sometimes we could maintain it with a belief system where the reward doesn't come in our lifetime.
Dopamine is cool stuff. Dopamine is really cool stuff. Because when we look at the dopamine system, what causes antidepressant effect? It's serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline. But dopamine is truly cool stuff. There's zillions of articles written on dopamine, and dopamine is what makes you very, very happy.
The jacket, because Greg was so close, and that was a confident swing by Adam. See if he gets the swing off the hill here.
He's been set up so far left most of the round, playing these little cut shots. Look at him now, he's very square. Beautiful shot.
Well, he is really playing golf now, isn't he? He's not making swings.
Oh, Jane, what kind of shot was that he played?
That was a low punch 7-iron.
Wow, and run it in there. Look at this shot. Well, now. This is so creative. Look at this. Real square, going to get down and through. Look at him drive that golf ball.
This is a release site for the neurotransmitter dopamine, the chemical key to human pleasure. Dopamine is a natural chemical that causes us to feel good. More dopamine means more pleasure. It's one of the ways the brain rewards behavior that helps us survive. Food and sex are two of the highest natural pleasures. In mice, they can trigger around 150 units of dopamine.
He had a putt in the 72nd at Lytham to tie Ernie. This right here could be the biggest moment of his career. And delivered the biggest roar of the week at Augusta, and also sparked a roar in Australia. For the playoff. Onward. That's it.
This is the opportunity for me.
Hello. See the beautiful putt. This is the long-awaited moment.
Adam Scott. A life changer.
During periods of stress, such as preparing to run in a race, the brain signals the adrenal glands to produce epinephrine or adrenaline. Epinephrine increases the rate in which the heart beats. In turn, the increased cardiac output supplies more oxygen to the muscles, putting the body in a heightened state to react.
Interesting sights and sounds can also activate dopamine neurons. That's why you're still watching this video. Most people need to think about something interesting, something they're doing or looking at, or something that's happened to them in their lives, and plans and hopes they have for the future. That's why we never stop thinking.
Too much dopamine, you'll hallucinate, go nuts. The euphoria that people get, it's that well-being that people have.
Personally, I think we all struggle with how to activate our dopamine neurons. What we do doesn't seem very meaningful, and the few things that really...
Observasi stimulasi dopamin pertama telah selesai. Penarikan hipotesa akan dilakukan setelah rangkaian observasi telah diselesaikan. Sekian dan terima kasih.